the Armed Forces provides amazing training.
I think about veterans as people who have already figured out how to serve.
My military skills have been essential.
Hiring veterans is a great business case. They're the best employees we have. They're flexible, hardworking, and they're used to a global workplace.
If that isn't an asset to any company, I don't know what is.
Hiring America, the award-winning television job fair for American veterans. Connecting you with companies who know your value. Learn about employers who are actively hiring today and organizations that support veterans. Your future success starts right here on Hiring America.
Welcome to Hiring America, the television series that helps military veterans find jobs and transition into meaningful careers. I'm Lauren Wanko. Today you're going to hear from companies that are actively recruiting veterans and from organizations who serve the military community. We're also speaking with veterans like you who've made successful transitions into the civilian workforce. We'll connect you to job openings and give you the information to get you the job you deserve. Log on to our website, hiringamerica.net, for more information and connect with us on our Facebook page and YouTube channel.
I'm a union steward and a bus driver, and I'm proud to be a Teamster.
I work at the Johnson Space Center for L&M Technologies, and I'm proud to be a Teamster, Local 988.
I'm proud to be a Local 777 member from Teamsters and a union steward. Go Teamsters!
I'm a member of 745, and I'm proud to be a Teamster.
I work for Columbia Distribution, and I'm proud to be a Teamster Local 174.
We're proud to be Teamsters.
Go Teamsters!
Michael Yauger is a highly decorated U.S. Army Vietnam veteran. He served with the 173rd Airborne Brigade as Hawk Team Leader. In 2003, he was appointed by International Brotherhood of Teamsters General President James P. Hoffa as the national representative for National Building Trades helmets to hard hats. Under that umbrella, Mick spearheaded the Teamsters Military Assistance Program, or TMAP, which assists training and employing veterans throughout the country as they transition into civilian careers. Mick joins us now here in Washington. Thanks for being with us.
Well, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
What is the Teamsters?
The Teamsters is a fraternal organization. It's a trade union where we have signed agreements called current bargaining unit agreements with companies where we negotiate the wage package and the benefit package for its workers to guarantee a safe workplace, to guarantee a living wage with benefits, with health, welfare, and pension. It's about fraternity and solidarity and helping people achieve a good living in the workplace.
What made you decide to join the Teamsters team?
Well, like all Vietnam veterans, when we came back to America to actually a better economy than the Iraq and Afghanistan veterans came back to. Yet no one was going to hire Vietnam veterans. I mean, the average Vietnam veteran, it took 8 years before they earned a full year's salary, which was kind of deplorable. I can remember getting off the plane at O'Hare Field, and people would literally just move to the other side of the hallway because they thought something was wrong with Vietnam veterans. There was a stigma with all the protests that was going on. And pretty much everybody I knew had problems with employment, and that led to drug problems and problems in their marriage and everything else, which I said if I was ever in a position to do anything about it, I would do something about it. When I finally got into the Teamsters Union, I saw the opportunities that abounded with Teamster companies. I was able to earn a good salary. I was able to buy a home. I was able to achieve the American dream. And I saw no reason why we should do anything else but focus on the sons and daughters of Teamsters who so badly need to achieve that American dream.
You launched a military assistance program?
The military assistance program basically is a program where we have access to the soldiers 180 days prior to their separation from the military. We take and convert the skills they learned in the military and their military experience into an employment position which kind of mirrors their MOS, which is military occupational specialty. We feel as though the education that they receive and the life's experiences they receive while serving their country have real value. As you know, for-profit schools, they look at a diploma and they say this person's qualified for this job. We look at that and say, you know what, a DD-214, which is your diploma when you're honorably discharged, should serve the same purpose. But most of America doesn't really understand the skill sets that the military has. When they get out and they try to transition into a civilian job, since employers don't understand how they fit and what experiences they had, they don't get looked at for employment. We thought it would be a good idea to kind of educate our employers and make available to them employees or prospective employees.
Who pays for the training?
Training is paid for right now in our freight program, ABF Freight, which is a great company. They're actually one of our premier companies in the Teamsters. And the reason I say that is we only put companies in the forefront that will put them on a career ladder. It's not just giving them a job. We have to have companies that promote from within, so that as their life grows, as their families grow in size, their incomes grow, and they're not out looking for another job. Our training is of no cost to the soldier at all. No, it's no cost on the military. It's free to them. Everybody's got skin in the game, and that's what makes it work. If the soldiers want a job, they have to give us their time. We'll give them the skills.
Are all service members guaranteed a job after completing the training?
They're not guaranteed a job because we actually had some decide at the last minute they want to go somewhere else. We don't care where they go. What we care about is we don't have to look at them sleeping under a bridge or going homeless because they don't have a skill. We give them a skill. Currently, right now, 97% of the guys that graduate from, and women that graduate from our program have gainful employment opportunities presented to them upon graduation.
Why is this program so important?
It's important because even if you don't have a son or a daughter that serves, this is the kid that one time delivered your newspaper, babysat your children or whatever, who's all grown up now. We owe it to our servicemen. You know, they take a pledge, everybody that wears the uniform, every man and woman, that they would be willing to give their life in defense of our freedoms and our American way of life. And they face bad people every day. I mean, while we're home having Christmas and enjoying our families, they're in some country, you know, facing out against people that badly want to kill Americans. And they deserve better than to come home and live under a bridge because they can't find a job. They deserve all the help they can get from us. We actually feel very obligated that we need to help these people achieve the American dream.
What kinds of jobs are available?
Oh, everything from transportation and logistics, which is what our military does the best. Railroad engineers, airframe mechanics and power plant mechanics, diesel mechanics, school bus drivers for spouses. We have a program for spouses as well. We just don't get the soldier a job if he's married. We get his wife a job because nowadays some people need two incomes. There is virtually no job you can bring up that we don't represent.
Why is the union such a good fit for veterans?
It's a good fit for veterans because it's a brotherhood. You know, the one thing you miss when you get out of the military is you're part of something in the military, especially in a combat zone when you're forward deployed. You put your life in the hands of the people around you. You expect that they will fight to the death for you, and you're expected to fight to the death for them. And that just doesn't happen anywhere. They get out and they miss that brotherhood. They miss that camaraderie. And you can see it to this day if you see a veterans reunion. Guys may not have seen each other for 30 years, but they're still brothers. And that I think that their ability to work as a team is what draws them together. Teamwork, working as a team, working to get things done. Our military trains them to accomplish any mission anywhere in the world they're sent in any weather in 18 hours. That's a high level of readiness that we're trained to. That's exactly the kind of employee that we want to be Teamsters. And 12% of our membership are veterans in the Teamsters of our 1.4 million members. So it's a real natural fit. So we can mentor these young veterans when they come and get a job as a Teamster.
Where can our service members go who are interested in more information about your training program?
www.teamsters.org/TMAP.
Mick, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
We'll be back with more from Washington in a moment.
Did you know, as a transitioning service member, you could qualify for free training for a good civilian job? In recognition for your military service to your country, the department wants to give back to you. Work with your installation transition office to learn about the program to see if it's right for you.
Frank DiGiovanni is the Director for Force Training and Readiness for the Department of Defense. He's responsible for how our military service men and women are trained and how that training is implemented. Frank joins us now. Thank you for being here on Hiring America.
It's a pleasure to be here.
What does your job entail?
So it starts with the writing of policy that basically sets the guidelines for all four services as far as how they go about training our men and women in our military. It entails everything from training space that we use, the land, air, and sea. It talks about training technologies. We look at cyber training. We also look at credentialing and licensing of service members. And of course, we have a program called SkillBridge that is also within my office.
What is the SkillBridge program?
The SkillBridge program was authorized by the Congress in 2012 and essentially allows a service member to participate in a full-time job skills training program, internship with industry, up to 6 months before they get out of the service.
The training occurs before the service member transitions into the civilian workforce?
That's correct. If the commander releases them, then they're able to actually go to an on-site or off-site training site run by a member of industry, or in the case of the unions, the Teamster has a very active program. And then from there they get training in a particular trade that they're interested in.
Generally, how long is that training process?
Most of the training does not take full advantage of the 6 months which the program allows them to participate in. Most of the time it's around the 2 month to maybe 2.5 months.
And why is that?
Because they have to balance the military mission, which they're assigned to do, with the ability to release that individual to do training as they transition out of the military.
Does the training guarantee them a job in that field after they transition?
One of the things that we require participants of the program to follow is that there must be a high probability of employment if they successfully complete that industry's training program, or in the case of the Teamsters training.
What specific jobs are available through this training process?
There are quite a few jobs. We have several partners, but they range, for example, if I go back to the Teamster example, anywhere from driving a truck to the logistics side of the house. We have partnerships with Microsoft, so these are technical jobs. We have partnerships with Allied Barton in the security area. Georgia Power has participated, General Motors has participated. So there's a very wide spectrum of industry partners that are participating in the program.
How do you help service members realize a particular venue that they want to pursue?
You know, the interesting thing about the success of this program is that the people that do really well are the ones that are extremely motivated, the ones that go the extra mile to work with their commanders, to find out about the program, who are excited about the occupation they're going to. And what's really interesting about this is that many people sometimes don't have, they're not sure about their future when they get out of the military. And so the fact that they can actually do something they're interested in doing, go get training in it to figure out if that's really what they want to do, so that when it's time to terminate their service to the military, they have surety on the way ahead. And that's really the beauty of the program is from the service member's perspective.
What is the Cyber Operations Training Program?
This is a training program that's about 6 months in length. And right now it's on the front end of service. And so this is really for active duty and reserve component military and government civilians. These courses looked at a very unique approach to teaching someone cyber operations, in that it can take someone who may not know anything about computers, and in 6 months they're able to actually reverse engineer malware and actually be a very competent in cyber operations, and I guess in normal words it would be hacking. So these folks really are competent in this area.
Just because of how rigorous the training process is? I mean, that's pretty impressive.
It is. The training process is almost 6 months of hands-on keyboard. There are 0 lecture. Each of the students get divided into a 7-person team called a fire team. They have a master fire team lead who is someone that's very competent in cyber operations skills. And then they spend most of the day problem solving as a team with help from their master operator.
Do you find, though, that our service members are more successful in finding a job after they transition when they're given the training before they even transition?
Absolutely. It is essential that we help our young men and women who have served so honorably to give some surety in their life as they transition to the next part of their life. And this program gives them that ability to understand, well, where am I headed next? We had one young lady who did the SkillBridge program through Microsoft, and I interviewed her, and I cannot tell you how just happy she was to find out that she had been accepted into the program, and then now on the other side as a valuable partner with Microsoft Corporation.
How do they go about applying for this program?
It's had over 30 installations, and we've had over 5,000 people graduate from the program. of which we have over a 90% placement rate for those graduates. But essentially they work it through their first line supervisor, particularly the first field grade officer in their chain of command. And then they also work through the installation commanders to participate and apply for the program.
And where can service members find out more about your programs?
At www.dodskillbridge.com, and you certainly can find out a lot about the SkillBridge program via that website.
Thank you for joining us.
You're welcome.
We'll be back with more of Hiring America in a moment.
This Veteran Employer Transition Tip brought to you by USAA, a proud supporter of America's military, serving veterans since 1922.
When Disney started their program in March of 2012, our chairman and CEO, Bob Yauger, stood before our shareholders meeting, that is how important this is to Disney, and announced Heroes Work Here. The next year he went back and reiterated and re-upped the program. So top-down leadership is pivotal.
The second thing is a shared commitment across the enterprise. So it can't just be the CEO, it's got to be the lines of business, it's got to be the staff agency, so everybody committed to that. And then somebody who's responsible for bringing it all together, otherwise it'll just be disparate things happening across the enterprise with no synergy and no significant impact.
It also helps if the organization will make a numerical commitment to how many veterans they're going to hire. That also helps make it official and gets the organization on board to drive towards hiring those veterans.
You have to bring the military to the HR community, to the diversity community, so they understand this population and explain to them this background, this culture, the nuances we've all talked about with the military, because they behave a little bit differently in the process of finding a job.
You have to find somebody in your organization that takes it personal, that has a powerful passion and emotional commitment to get veterans into your workforce. You need to find them, and then you need to empower them, because they will help you do whatever it needs to take, walking resumes through the organization, talking to hiring managers, coaching veterans, because if you let it just happen naturally, it's very difficult.
For an individual that has that passion, if you want to hire veterans, have veterans hire your veterans. It's a pretty natural connection.
We'll be back with more of Hiring America in a moment.
If there's anything I've learned since leaving the Army, it's that service doesn't stop when we take off our uniforms. Every day at LinkedIn, I get to help our 2.2 million veteran members connect to their next opportunity. Unfortunately, the challenges and perceptions that some veterans face can overshadow their accomplishments and distract from just how bright their future can be. This Veterans Day and every day moving forward, join me in honoring our veteran community, not only for what they've done in the past, but also for what they've yet to achieve. Let's honor their future, our future, together.
Don't just thank me for my service,
or focus on my past,
and remind me what I've done for my country.
Instead, let's talk about my future.
The work I have yet to do.
The work my time in the service prepared me for. I am a veteran.
I am a veteran.
I'm a veteran, but that's not my only identity.
I'm proud of my past, proud of what I've accomplished, and grateful for your support.
But when you look at my life today, and the work I do in the future, I want you to be just as proud.
Because my mission today is to impact technology,
science, finance, and beyond.
My future, my career,
and my best work
is just beginning.
We are veterans.
We are veterans.
We are veterans, and we're just getting started.
Thanks for watching. The information we've just shared is all on our website, hiringamerica.net. Log on and find out about more companies who are hiring veterans. And don't forget to connect with us on our Facebook page and YouTube channel, where you can find helpful tips and watch full episodes of the show. I'm Lauren Wonko in Washington. Join us again next week for another episode of Hiring America.
Promotional consideration provided by JetBlue, a proud employer of those who've served. This program made possible by the generous support of the following companies: